I'm Julia.
And I'm Sue.
And this is A Whole Lot of Craft. Today on episode 68, Sue and Julia are doing a jewelry experiment. Come back and join us.
Hola!
Hello. Forgive me. Anyway, my head is like not on today.
I don't think it's on.
I don't know. This transition back to school is killing me. It's only been a day.
It's only day 2.
I know. I think it's getting up.
Yes.
I'm not a morning person. I admit it. And
that's why I like when we only have 4 days to start. It's like a nice ease in. I know people don't like that, but nice ease in.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to Friday.
Oh, goodness. Well, hopefully if you started school or your family started school, all is well.
Yes. Yeah, actually things are going well. I can't complain. Everybody's happy with their classrooms and their friends they have back in their classes. So
that's good.
Yeah. And the junior high transition was not as crazy as I thought it might be. Although she informs me now that her teachers are approaching them as secondary students, no longer children. So that's the difference.
Yes. Lots more responsibility and expectation. It's good.
Yeah. It's about
stepping it up a little.
Stuff that's good to know how to do. We all need to learn that sometime, right? So, anything else exciting in your world?
Nope, back from all the vacations. Ready to tackle the school year, I guess.
We've been doing plumbing.
Fun.
That's exciting. We got a new toilet.
Wow.
It's very tall.
I'm going to go tonight and build a loft.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? How and
where and why and what?
Not in your yard.
No, like a bed loft.
Oh, I'm thinking, I don't know, like treehouse loft is what I had.
I know. Somebody else said that to me yesterday when I was going to get paint samples. They're like, is it inside or outside?
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, it's a bed. It's inside.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
But no, a loft bed for my son's room. So my brother's going to show me what to do, and we're going to build a loft tonight, hopefully.
Nice. We thought about that because we did rearranging of the whole house 2 weeks before school starts as well, which is always
exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
Do you really actually have everything where it go along?
More or less, yeah.
I'm impressed.
And I've taken a bunch of stuff to the Goodwill, and we threw out a whole lot of stuff. It was a very good purging thing.
I'm still working on that now. I started it a week before school, and
yeah, it takes time. But once you get going with it, and I think a lot of it helped because we were moving stuff from one room to the other, and they didn't want to pick up everything and take it. So we're like, fine, if you don't want to do the work, you decide what stays, and I will take it out for you if you don't want to move it all. So we got rid of like half the books, and we got rid of a lot of little knick-knack things that were just collecting dust,
Mm-hmm.
So that was really good. Discovered an exploded feather boa. That was fun.
Wow.
There are now orange feathers literally all over my house.
Fun!
Yeah. But yeah, it's the things that you have to deal with when you're cleaning children's rooms, I suppose.
Yes.
But it's coming together. We have a new bunk bed. Not a loft, but it's a bunk, and that's very exciting.
Well, this is I painted his room over the summer, and this is the last step: is making a loft, and then moving in underneath it and putting shelving and stuff. He has a lot of collections.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of space for him.
It will be a lot of space, and then the next step actually will be figuring out how to house the collections, like what kind of shelving or cubbies or I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out step by step. First, I have to get the loft, and then we can think about putting things underneath it.
I kind of laughed at some of the things that they felt was important when we were actually going through. The Snapple bottle cap collection was very important to one child. And then there's a rubber duck, like those ones that you get from Oriental Trading. Many collections of rubber ducks. And I don't know.
And then there's other stuff that's like, I want to throw this out, and you're like, but your grandma made it for you.
I know. Like, that's a really nice thing. Why don't you want it?
Well, we have this whole system of you don't want it. You think you should keep it, but you don't want it in your room.
Yeah.
And then I box it up and keep it. And sometimes I stuff things in our closets, and they just don't know.
Yeah, we do have the sentimental things that I have a space for, so I don't throw away everything. But we found like I guess my daughter's been using their old baby clothes as doll clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So we pulled a bunch of those out, and they're just so little tiny little things because she was small, and so we had to buy her preemie clothes, and they're little pants that are this big.
Yeah. You okay there? Wow.
I'm fine. It
This
was
is
just
an emotional
it was a
episode.
sentimental moment.
I didn't bring tissues.
I am laughing. I'm not crying.
Not yet.
Not today. Not today. Today's good.
Kids going to school. You're talking about baby clothes. Watch out.
My.
Yeah. So, have you worked on anything
Yeah.
in between
well,
all
I
of the
have.
craziness?
I've gotten little things done. I did finish the doodler, but it's not here. It's off to its intended
Destination?
yes. So I'll put a little picture up. But it turned out beautifully, and I was very happy with it. And I would highly recommend it. It was really fun. The whole of it was. By the end, the rows were very, very long, and it took a long time to do them. They were like 700 stitches
Oh
across.
my
But-
goodness.
so it was a lot of knitting, but there was nothing about it that I could say was boring.
That's good.
So, I had to get through some of those long rows, but then there was something else to think about. There was something else to do. There was a different thing to choose. And I think that's, a big credit to the designer. It's the Stephen West pattern. And I haven't tried a whole lot of his, but he's very unique in his architecture of the actual garment. So I got to get out there and try a couple more of his things. They're really pretty neat. So, but the doodler, It was a lot of fun. And, yeah. I do have some partials. Do you have anything finished you want to show
I
first?
do. I actually finished something from way back in December. I know it's tiny.
Oh, cool.
But back in December, I was making pieces for a custom piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I had made a bunch of keychains, and I kept thinking, I want to make a keychain for myself.
Yeah.
And so this is a horsehair keychain
nice.
that I made that's hitched at the top, and there's a 12-strand herringbone braid
That
around.
is super sturdy looking.
Yeah,
It's not going to go anywhere.
yeah.
That's
So
really nice.
I'm excited because it's been sitting around, and I'd say, oh, I should finish that. Oh, I should finish that. And I was like, darn it, I'm finishing it.
You know what you should do? You should, find some and make paintbrushes out of them.
I thought about that because somebody gave me a bunch of horsehair that's real short.
Yeah.
And he asked me what I do with it. I'm like, it's so pretty. It's bundled together really nicely, so it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been thinking about doing is actually making paintbrushes out of them because I'm sure there are ones that are made of horsehair.
Yeah, probably. I pulled my viola out to show my daughter. She's trying to decide if she wants to change instruments, and I don't think we're going to do that. But she wanted to see my viola, and I pulled it out, and half of the horsehair is fallen off of it. So there's the other thing. Besides the boa feathers, now there's horsehair all over. But it was. I'm looking at it going, you forget when you don't see things for a long time that. And I used to always think it was synthetic, but I think it is real.
Yes,
and
it is. They do use real horsehair.
It's
Even
really
on student instruments, I think that they use real horsehair.
Yeah, so
You just go get it,
I'm going to have to do
Drawn.
something.
But-
Because half of the hair is fell
Oh, that's
out.
so fun having horsehair around too because it gets caught up in your vacuum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. That's why I try to keep it contained when I'm working on it, and it still gets everywhere. Or the cat eats it, and then that's not
interesting.
really pleasant.
No, I can't imagine that would be pleasant.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
It's not fun. So I made a couple other things too.
Yeah.
I was at a powwow, so I made
Ooh,
some new
cool.
quill work earrings. These are my yellow ones.
Nice.
These are for me. I made this pair for me, the orange ones with these pretty sparkly beads on them. And I made these blue ones as well, and I could put the earrings on them.
Oh, yeah.
Those are fun. I like the
Nice.
purpley colors.
I do.
I was at the powwow and it started raining and it poured and poured and poured in, and we never have ever closed early, but I just finished these and I was like, yep. They were like, you
It's
can go now
time.
before there's a thunder and lightning storm. So
Yeah.
I didn't put the earrings on those yet, but they're fun, aren't they?
Oh, they are really nice.
So
I like that.
these are
are
for
beautiful.
fall.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
It's always hard to find a nice orange color. It really is. Orange is sort of, you get safety cone orange or
Mhm.
nothing.
So burnt sienna.
Yeah.
I like that version. Those are nice, and I like the way the red blends with them, so it kind of looks like a gradient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about gradients lately.
Nice.
I have actually. This is my gradient project I'm working on.
Speaking of which, what a nice transition.
See, this is a star shower. It's a
So soft.
We jokingly call him a scowl because it's a shawl but also a cowl because it gets really big and it'll come down over the shoulders, but it's attached, so it goes all the way around your neck. So this is the top of it. That's the back. It's a scowl. I know, but it sounds so negative, doesn't it?
It does. I'm wearing a scowl today.
Yeah, but it's cool. And
Is it a cowl and a
shawl.
So it couldn't be a call. That would be weird too.
Yeah. But so I've got the first little bit done, and here's the ball. I wound. It's a fiber optics. It comes in a box, and all of the different colors are just little tiny skeins. So I wound them all into a big ball. So as I'm going through, you know, obviously it started with the light, the very, very light teal, and it's going into the darker, and deep inside there is like a chocolate brown.
Wow.
So it's going to turn really dark by the time I get to the bottom.
Beautiful. That's going to be nice for
Yeah.
fall.
I bought this at Rhinebeck a couple years ago, and it just sat there. You know, I would look at it, and they'd be like, oh, it's pretty, and I should use it. But
I think that there's nothing wrong with having inspirational art supplies.
yes.
That just sit there and you look at them and they make
They're
you
beautiful.
happy inside. They're like flowers.
True. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, and I looked at it for a long time because I didn't know what to do with it. But this, I think, is going to be, I like the way that it not only changes color, but it's got these sections. So I think that kind of breaks it up a little bit and makes it look more purposeful. So I'm really happy with it so far. So that's my gradient project. And then I've got my sock. Yeah, the sock from the collaboration that I'm doing. And I'm not going to get into too many details. I'll show you.
Ooh, I like that.
But it's coming along. I'm a little off my original
Goal.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, you know, those other projects take time.
Yes. But now that I have a little more time, it is definitely coming along a lot quicker. And I've got it all written out, and I've got the chart done. So it's just a matter of making sure that matches up to this and that it works. So I'm excited about it. It's coming along quite well.
That would be so fun when you're done.
Yeah. And then I started spinning. I visited a new group that meets once a month and gets together to spin. So I have not spun in like a year. And I did that when I was visiting with them.
That's so
Isn't that fun?
Wow, your threads are so even.
They're teeny little. This is like spinning like a dream. I haven't spun in so long, and I just started it, and it went shoom. It just kind of went. This is Northbound Knitting Polworth Silk in the Silk Nighty colorway.
This looks like a silk nighty.
Yeah, it's kind of purple and gray, and it's that same rose that I'm working with.
Wow, that's going to be so nice.
Yeah.
Are you going to double ply it?
I'm going to chain ply it.
I know.
I'm going to chain ply it.
Are you going to Navajo ply it?
Yes, exactly. Very good.
I'm just going to throw out some words there. Do you want to synergize with your, remember 90s business words? When I was cleaning, I saw Dilbert books, and it made me think of all those things that we used to say in the 90s. You just throw out a bunch of words, synergy, and eventually. And it sounds like you know what you're talking about. So, Navajo ply.
Yes, I'm going to synergize.
Is it a word? Dude,
wait. I'm glad you know that word, but no. It's actually very thin.
I have flashcards at night. I do. It's time to get back from school for me. Words to wait. What does it mean? I can't remember.
So it's actually pretty
sportwear.
Thin. I think it's going to be a fingering weight.
That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to take over your thunder. No, I really like it. It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's cool. It's turning out nice. I'm going to keep working on that.
So you guys just sit and talk and spin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you do it with a hand spindle then?
No, I didn't have my wheel. I brought it with me.
Oh, really?
And, seat buckled it into the back seat of the car and went on my way.
I love it.
So, yeah, it was fun to get out and do that again because really, I don't think I've done a whole lot since last spring. Once it started getting hot, that was that. So it's been good. And that's really all I've been doing. I've got little things that are partly done, but nothing no progress worth talking about.
Right. I know, and I don't have anything I'm starting right now because I'm just trying to finish up the myriad of home projects I've started.
Yeah.
Get the loft done. Because the bedroom's still sort of in limbo. We still have some things in boxes, and
And you don't want winter to come and then have everybody be inside and then have to deal with finishing those things.
Yes.
That's just too much.
That's actually my big goal tomorrow, is to finish a whole bunch of them. We'll see how many I get done.
You can do it.
Oh, you know, maybe I'll have a cup of coffee instead.
Yeah, I know. There's a part of me that wants to enjoy the quiet for a little while.
Yes, well, there is that.
Yeah.
I think I can get a lot done because it will be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. So today we have, like I said, a little bit of a strange experiment. Sue and I decided it would be fun to take an inspirational picture of some kind of jewelry. And we didn't really talk about this much ahead of time. So we each have our own picture, and then we created something out of it, or either inspired by it or recreated it in order to see kind of what we come up with.
right.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And, yeah, do you have any other thing to add?
No, you can just stick around and see what we come up with.
Yeah, come on back. Yes. So this idea kind of came to me because I frequently look at things I can't afford. I guess I don't have any better way to put it. I love looking at, well, I guess I can say the names, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like looking at Anthropologie. I like looking at Sundance. Just some of the creativity and the way they put things together in their styling. J. Jill's another one. I just really like the way it looks, but I don't have the means to go out and buy them all. I'm not even sure I'd have the means to go out and buy one at this point because I don't really need any of it either. So I thought occasionally I will try to recreate. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be neat, since Sue's mind works very differently than mine, to kind of see how we would interpret the recreation of a piece. So that's kind of where today's DIY came from. And so we can show you our inspirations, and then we'll show you what we did, and kind of go from there. Mine, it's more of a style than a particular piece.
Okay.
I found a lot of the same style throughout several different websites where there's multiple strands. Some were lighter with just a few like little gems along these strands, and some were quite a bit heavier, like almost like a bib necklace. So I kind of did a combination of those with a multi-strand. So here's an inspiration, and here's my finished, and there it is in person. So mine has 2 strands, and I might add a third. I'm not sure yet. I've got little leaves hanging off.
I think a little strand right here with something sparkly that's tiny
would look nice.
Would look nice.
Yeah,
because it's kind of halfway between the chain and the big chunky
and the big chunky thing. So see, already we're getting. I do
like
not
your little leaves.
Pretend to be a designer by any stretch of the imagination. Though as I was going through my stuff yesterday, I did have a lot of ideas of like, oh, I could do that and that would look interesting, or oh, I could do this, but none of it went together into a finished piece. I don't have the supplies to be able to do everything that they do in the pictures, or probably that you could do because you've got a larger jewelry stash than I do. So I kind of put together what I've got and go from there. So that's where mine came from, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think in general.
And it matches your outfit today.
It does.
No, I think
gotta plan those kind of things.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy with
That's
mine.
usually when I end up making jewelry, is when I have this idea of something I'm gonna wear in 2 days. And I'm like, I need a necklace that looks like this because I saw it somewhere. And then like a half hour before I have to walk out the door, I'm finishing it. I can't tell you how many times. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna clip it together with a safety pin and I'll finish it later. I've done that. I have done that multiple times.
Behind your hair.
Yeah, you just gotta keep an eye on that and put it in the bag. Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah. So mine actually ended up being a literal translation of mine, and that was not the intention. I found this necklace in Sundance, and I really like it. I like the contrast of the blues with the carnelian color, and I'm working more in the professional world.
Yes.
So I feel like my jewelry needs to be a little sparklier now because I tend to be an earth tone girl, and actually this necklace from Sundance, it has the chain is really an antiqued color,
Okay.
which is, it's totally my style.
Yes.
But I felt like, yeah, I need something a little brighter because my style is so subdued that I think a lot of time my jewelry gets lost. So, so anyway, so I worked on it and I came up with this.
I love that.
And really, like I said, I went about it, I looked at the picture and then I went to Michael's. And I had some beads at home that I was going to work with. And I thought, oh, I'll just get some stuff to match it. And I found some beads that I liked. And then I walked up and they had these blue ones that looked exactly, almost exactly like the ones in the picture. The difference obviously being these were $3.99.
Yes.
Because this is made of glass and it's not really faceted. It was, you know, molded that way. Where, you know, those are real carnelian stone. I mean, chalcedony. We're trying to figure out how to say that. Chalcedony, you know, and they're faceted, and you know that's what makes it expensive. They're really nice supplies. And then they're real carnelian little beads here at the top. And I actually happen to have these tiny little faceted beads. So again, I had no intention of making exactly the same thing. I did go though for a brighter chain, and I mixed metals. So I don't ever let mixing metals stop me. So the tops of these, and honestly, if I had more time, I could have made these. I could have made these wire wrapped. I could have bought royalettes, something maybe that was a little sparklier with more facets, and wire wrap them. But I figured, what the heck, why not? Go for it. So I made it. I'm almost done. I kept some pieces to continue working on it, and I have to put the clasp on. So I'm just going to put a clasp on the end. The one in the picture has an extender on it with a different kind of chain. But I like it. It's really cute and it's sparkly. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, on one hand, you need to honor the creativity of the person who made this, right? On the other hand, there is only so much money in the bank. And I think that copying pieces for your own personal use, not copying them and then selling them, you learn so much about style, about how to put things together.
What colors go.
What colors to go, what colors you thought go, and then somebody put something different together. I think that's really informative as well. So, so I think it's worth it. And you know, then a lot of people. I used to teach classes at Michael's, and we would do this sometimes. People would bring in magazines, and I'd show them how to make what they were looking at, and they'd say, "Well, why is this so expensive? If I can just make it." Well, one, you're talking about the supplies you're using. This is a base metal chain that's silver plated, so it was like $5. These are glass, and this is silver or gold plated wire. And then these are just some sort of glass that's been faceted. You know, in the real piece, you have carnelian stones as a semi-precious stone that someone took the time to cut them in these shapes to facet them. And then you have the little carnelian beads, which are teeny tiny. You know, so right there, you could be talking a couple $100 depending on the grade of the stones and such.
And then the chain would obviously be a higher quality metal.
You would once, I mean, if you were making it for sale, it would be sterling silver chain. The wire would be at least gold filled, or if not gold wire. So, you know, and then there's the time of the designer to make this. This took me, I'm not used to just following directions. I'm not. This was actually really fun for me because I don't normally do this. I usually like sit there and I'm like, well, I want something that uses this color and this color. What am I going to do? And I fiddle, and it takes me 3 or 4 hours to make a necklace, where this was like, wow, I was done in like a half hour. The longest part was the shopping. And so for me, that was actually a little lesson for me. Like, it's okay to copy other people now and then, and you know, learn a little something about putting things together. But these little tiny faceted beads is actually a really interesting story about how I got them. A few years ago, a friend of mine and I decided to make a trip to New York City to go bead shopping. Because, you know, they have like these big places where you can buy all kinds of things. And we looked online at different places you can go. And some of the shops you can only go if you have a sales tax license, which I have. Because they're basically for people who are creating things and reselling them. So we went to this one place, and I cannot remember the name of it. I have to look it up. But the description online said, "Be ready to dig. You may want to bring gloves." And we thought they were kidding. Well, it was like typical New York City. It was near Spandex World. Because it was on the, it was, yeah, we loved Spandex World.
Yes.
But it was on a street where there was a lot of costume, people buying stuff for costume making. So you went in this building and you went up one of those elevators that had like an elevator guide because there was the metal fence that went across. I mean, the elevator was probably 100 years old.
Yeah.
You go up and we come out into this hallway and we're like, what the heck? And we knock on this door and this most flamboyant man I've ever met in my life opens the door. I think he was the only employee because he was the employee of the month every month, but he had dressed up as different people.
Oh my god.
He probably was like, I don't know, some sort of like drag at night kind of person because he was hilarious. Because that's what all those photos were, him in different types of drag.
That's funny.
But literally boxes upon boxes upon boxes stacked to the ceiling where you just went in and you just picked up a box and you rode it around in there and you found, and you had to buy them by like the box like this.
Wow.
So whatever was in, or by the bag, whatever was in that bag you were getting. You didn't get to say, well, I only want one straight of these, or I only want half of these, or whatever. It was like you were committing.
Oh my gosh.
But it literally was like a tiny, tiny room. It was probably, well, it was probably bigger than it seemed, but it was like a maze. You would go in a circle, but like literally these things could have avalanched on you and killed you.
Wow.
But it was so much fun. And literally we were dirty when we were done because it was just all these boxes and like beads I had never seen before in my life. And it was so much fun.
Now you have these fun red beads to come. That's where you got the red ones.
That's where I got these little tiny faceted red ones. And in fact, I have them in a special box because I love them so much. I haven't done much with them, but I have them in a little plastic container and it says on it, yummy faceted beads.
And how many did you have to bring home?
Actually, like that was one of the, like you'd find this bag and so there was a bag like maybe that big of the faceted beads and then there was a bag of this and a bag of that. But then sometimes it was like an entire bag this big of X. Yeah. So you had to decide if you really wanted it, but it was so much fun. That was the best place that we went. Like we went to a couple of places. In fact, it made me think you and I should do a yarn tour.
I would love that. City. I would love that. In fact, I know a few places we could go.
I'm thinking that might be one of our field trips in the fall.
That'd be a lot of fun. I'd go to a bead place too. I would. I'd go to a bead place because I love that kind of stuff. And honestly, the stuff that I buy and like all of these guys, I bought them because they were on sale. Because I'm just trying to kind of build a variety of things. And the chain is recycled from something I think I got at Fashion Bug one year and didn't like anymore and took apart.
Is there still a Fashion Bug?
No, I don't think they're around anymore.
That's where I got my start in jewelry, is I bought a pair of earrings.
But yeah, I think you got to play sometimes and just, feel free to get inspiration. Pinterest is a wonderful place to go for that kind of thing. And I did look at a bunch of the stuff I have on there, but most of my things were earrings. I don't know why I seem to be drawn more to earrings on Pinterest than, because I just kind of scroll through.
I think also when you take a picture of earrings, they're huge.
That's
compared
true.
to a necklace, it's so far back.
Yeah, it's
that it's hard to see the detail. And
right. Yeah, so I have lots of different ideas now from going through it all. I just didn't have all the supplies, so I suppose I could have gone shopping.
Yeah, you could have come shopping at my house.
True.
Although we were in the throes of getting ready for, backpacks and folders and all that good stuff.
Well, see, I just broke it. The little chain broke, so I'll have to fix that when I get home. So yeah, so this is a start, and yours is a start. We're almost done. But it's been really fun to kind of just play and try something that maybe you've been admiring for a while, but just can't quite bring yourself to get.
Oh. Just flung mine across the porch.
We're having difficulties now.
Yes. I'm just so impressed. But it's such a pretty thing. I just want to look at it. I'm not going to wear it. I'm going to make someone else wear it so that
hang it on your curtain or something.
Exactly. It's so pretty. The colors, though. The colors are just, the blue and the carnelian are just such nice colors together. So, anyway. But yes, you should allow your space to explore, to use other people's ideas in your own way. For your own personal use, for a gift for somebody, because it does give you that opportunity to try something different, maybe discover something by accident. Right. Usually the best mistakes turn into new ideas.
And then from there, you can develop your own designs, which is a nice way to, it's a good stepping stone to learn how to put things together. And then, who knows how far it'll go.
Right. So. Right. And it's always interesting, if you can, to really zoom in on those pictures and see. I always find it interesting, how do they put it together? It's not even necessarily the colors, but what linked, when you have something like that, what linked it together? Is
Right.
there some sort of thing covering where the three things come together?
Right.
Is there not? The finding of it and the finishing is always interesting to me.
Yeah, and there's a lot of interesting designs that I had not seen before, some styles that now I'm like, oh, I gotta get out there and go try these things. So
Yes.
I know what I'm doing next week.
There you go.
All right.
You're all by yourself.
I know.
Because your house will be completely finished.
I'm really not that
You'll
sad.
have nothing to do. But
Oh,
sit
are
and
you
make
kidding?
jewelry.
There's always something to be
What?
done.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway.
Yes.
All right. Well, that was kind of a brief little foray into the world of inspiration for you guys, and hopefully this will inspire you to do a little bit of jewelry making of your own. If you do post pictures, feel free to put them up on the website. That didn't make sense. If you do make something, feel free to post a picture on the website on the Ravelry group.
Yes, we'd love to see what you're making.
Yeah. And I guess that's it for today.
So thank you for joining Whole Lotta Craft.
Check us out at wholelottocraft.com and at the Ravelry group at Whole Lotta Craft Podcast. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.